what election day is all about. The biggest gun we got, all the ballot bucks. So if you don't like who's in there, vote 'em out. And when they're gone, we'll sing and dance and shout. Bring Election day is coming around again. If you don't like it now, if it's more than you'll allow, if you don't like who's in there,
check on two. Morning. I was going to try to play a Willie Nelson song, but you know, in the age of censorship, in the age of absolute and utter surveillance on YouTube and everywhere, speech under attack, you can't do that. You can't play what you want to play. People get offended. They get their balls in a knot. And even the word balls might be considered offensive to some. It's just crazy times we're living in. I think I kind of reflect. Good morning, everybody, by the way. Good morning. Graffiti Martini on the wrench in the chat. So we're here again. We're back. We're on the B channel, right? And it turns out, some good luck, actually, good news, that this channel, the other channel, will be reinstated momentarily, any hour now, because RT folded and said, because I challenged it and said it was fair use, and they rolled over. Oh, we're sorry. So we'll be back between both channels, but it was actually a good thing because we learned something here on this channel. This channel is now monetized. This video, as we speak, according to YouTube, any hour now, because RT folded is monetized, meaning that there's money supposed to be changing hands. And as of this moment, at this very, very moment, they switched it to limited. I'm going to explain all that stuff. I'm going to explain to you. I think what I'm trying to say is this, is that right before social media, there was the internet. Remember the internet? The internet was a vast place of bright and new ideas and breaking culture and what's going on in the web. You go to the web and you try to find truth. You try to find people's truth. And then what happened was social media came along, Facebook, YouTube, and they lured everybody in. They said, oh, no, we'll give you the platform. We'll set it up for you. You could put your videos here, no problem. And everybody, that was the movement of abandoning websites. I had a website throughout the 90s. It was, I was a psychic, and I had a website called Marcus Goodwin. I had a different name. I went by a pseudonym. And I had a great site. I had a great website, and it had a e-commerce set up, and nobody ever censored me. Nobody ever said a boo to me, right? Because I was as big as Facebook. Facebook didn't even exist. There was like, at the time, MP3, MySpace. All those sites fell off because they get greedy. They choke themselves out. And that's what's going to happen with YouTube. It's just inevitable. But for right now, we have to play the game because they have this technology, this ability to do what we're doing right now, which is go live. I don't see websites, regular commercial websites for sale or buying those services really available. So you're kind of like bent over the barrel, right? Even to post video on a private website, they start to charge you per video, per size of the video, and all this shit, right? So anyway, even the idea of playing Willie Nelson's song, if you don't like who's in there, vote him out. Right? That song is so brilliant, but you can't play it legitimately because then they'll strike you. Then they'll try to, it's like fucked up. So besides that, we'll talk about Trump v. Biden. Trump is up against the wall again. The claim Democrats claim he only paid $750 tax last year or previous years. Joe Biden, Gaff King, lying about the college he went to, saying he went to an all-black university, Delaware. It's just fucking bullshit lies. A little on Julian Assange. We'll look at Joe Rogan's home in Texas. IRS information. If you haven't gotten your stimulus check, I'm going to tell you how to get it. Right? There's a little news on there. NASA sending a woman to the moon. That's fun. We'll look at that. And what else? What else is going on here? What else? More wildfires, unfortunately. Are they wild or are they deliberately wild? Are they not so wild, meaning that they're organically wild, or are they arsonistically wild? I don't know, but there's definitely more fires over there, and look at that. Trump calls for Biden to take a drug test. We'll look at that story, and some Black Lives Matter prick, for lack of a better term, arrested after spending $200,000 in donations. And so we'll take a look at that, man. So good morning, everybody. We are here. If you're joining us late, we're here on this channel. And we have some good news that we're going to talk about momentarily. Where's my chords? Oh, here's my chords. I want to play that song because I really like this song. Willie Nelson did a good job. I'm playing the guitars right here. If you don't like who's in there, if you don't like who's in there, vote him out. 'Cause that's what election day is all about. The biggest gun we got is called the ballot box. If you don't like who's in there, vote him out. Yeah. Vote him out. Vote him out. And when they're gone, we'll sing and dance and shout. Yeah. And she'll bring some new ones in, and they'll start the show again. If you don't like who's in there, vote him out. Sing it, Willie. Vote him out. Yeah, vote him out. 'Cause if you don't like who's in there, vote him out. What a brilliant song, man. Love that shit, man. But you can't, you can't have Willie singing it because then you'll get fucked, right? You get fucked, right? Willie would be fucking you, man, right? So thanks for having to listen to that. You had to listen to that shit, man. It's early in the morning. You have to listen to my shit. So there's the chords. I was just strumming along. So let's dive in over here. Let's dive in. So kindly become a Patreon of this channel. Right now, everything is still pointing at the other channel, but I guess I was right to leave it there. But become a Patreon of this channel. If any videos, like I said, my hope for the future is to have a website that is well attended and completely and utterly uncensored, kind of like what InfoWars has. InfoWars has a legitimate website where they have commerce, but their channel is not censored. If you don't like it, fuck off. Don't go there. Right? That's the way it should be. Right? But YouTube initially was that way. It was just like, if you don't like the video, don't watch it. Right? That's the right way to censor. Censor yourself. Don't impose your bullshit on everybody else. And I want to show you just how much bullshit. But if by chance videos get knocked down, just go over here to BitChute, and you'll see all the videos that are attacked. These are mostly the LARPers that attack their videos. If you say their name, oh, you said my name, I'm gonna fucking sue you, you motherfucker. Right, that's what they like to do, right? So when you expose the jerk-offs, they attack your site, and then we take their information and we exploit it, because that's what we do. Because they're pricks and scumbags. And oops, I said prick and scumbag. That means my channel will be demonetized. This video will be demonetized, motherfucker. But anyway, become a Patreon by clicking on this for as little as $2 a month, $1 a month, whatever. Get a couple of stickers out of the deal, right? And you get to sponsor new media as well, PayPal by throwing some cash in the tip jar. And that's how we keep it going, right? Oh, somebody sent me a T-shirt. I would like to make my own T-shirts at some point, but somebody sent me this one, which I really love. It says, cancel Facebook culture. Thank you very much. We are canceling Facebook culture. Let's cancel all of this culture of censorship, culture of angst, culture of fear, culture of distrust. Right? Where nobody trusts anybody. You can't, oh, look what you said. You said something and now you can't say that. Right? And there's all these rules that prevent you from saying that. So I want to look at, before we jump into the main stories, I want to look at some of that because I think people will find it fascinating. I certainly do. So that's Willie Nelson, by the way. That was Willie Nelson's song that we can't play. And if you don't like who's in there, vote him out. So I don't know why. I just felt like singing that song because it's fucking awesome. It's awesome. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody in the chat. Come on in. We're just getting started. So as you can see now, I just want to show you what we're up against in terms of new media, because it is fascinating. It is part of the experiment, right? Can you rise to the top with truth by telling the truth, the unadulterated truth, or will they chop your legs off so fucking soon in the game that you can never get started, right? I think it's the latter, but we're working on the workaround, the reach around. We're going to reach around and try to reach around this thing. But you can see now this channel right here at Marcus Conte News is now monetized, but only limitedly. All right, so if I turn it off, right now this thing is, apparently the channel is monetized. So when I turn it back on, let's try to turn it on. Oh, see, it's monetized, but keep watching it. See where it says monetized? Watch. It's and they changed it to limited money, right? Without even knowing what the content is, immediately it's limited. Why? Because Joe Biden got caught lying because of some of the headlines. They're judging it based on headlines. Just follow through for a second. Just stay with me, right? So let's look at some of YouTube's rules. These are fascinating, right? It's almost impossible to say anything. You can't speak. All you could do is maybe, make a cat video. But then there's partiality, right? Because you look at people like, H.A. Goodman's monetized or Jimmy Dore's monetized. Everything Jimmy Dore says is on the edge. But he's monetized, but me or the guy down the block, you can't do it, right? They squash you down, right? But look at this, advertiser-friendly content. These are some of the things that what you'll find in this article, right? Inappropriate. These are the things that you can't do. What is inappropriate language? Content that contains frequent use of strong profanity or vulgarity throughout. What does that mean, right? What does it mean? You just can't say dirty words or profound or things or strong profanity like the F word. Oh, the F word. The F word. Oh, we have to say the F word now when we want to say freak. We got to say the F word. Oh, see how they try to... Violence. No violence. What is violence? You mean like blood and guts and human or animal waste? You can't show a pile of shit? That's violent? Shit is violent? Human waste is violent? Human waste is natural, you idiots. Accounts or images of shootings, explosions, or bombings, execution videos, violent acts committed against animals. Well, that is the human experience, right? Content depicting cruelty or gratuitous violence towards animals. I believe that. I don't like that shit. But whatever, man. I won't watch it. Videos that contain graphic violence, raw footage of war, injuries and death, hunting, adult content. Well, that's expected. You shouldn't be showing porno on YouTube. Go somewhere else for that. There's plenty of venues for that. You don't have to put it here. Shocking content. Videos that contain disgusting, gruesome, or gory depiction of blood, organs, tissue, medical invasion, accidents. This is everything that is newsable. Everything that is newsable is not allowed to be talked about. And look at this, animal preparation, graphic mishandling of animals, animal preparation. You know what? Any animal that you eat was brutally murdered, was murdered with a bolt to the head or had its head chopped off, or its throat sliced and hung upside down, bleeding to death, and then skinned half alive. Just know that the meat, that when you eat meat, that's usually what's going on, right? And you're not allowed to show that. No. We can't show people what's actually happening in the world because that would offend somebody. It would offend somebody to know that my meat, the meat on my plate, is that of murdered flesh. Something as simple as that. You're not allowed to show that. But a cooking video you could show. See how much fun we're having? We're flipping our burgers and we're eating. It's crazy. We live in a crazy world. Harmful or dangerous acts, sexually unwanted acts such as forced kissing, groping, threatening someone. Of course, threats. Anti-vaccination. Oh my fucking God. Or AIDS. Non-medical treatments that promise to cure untreatable diseases. Content which could apply to any spiritual practice. A non-medical treatment that promises to cure untreatable diseases. It's only untreatable because the medical profession told you it's untreatable. Where yoga has proven to snap people's bodies back into shape and miraculously cure disease. So even something as simple as running 5 miles. An old person that's disabled or deemed fucked up. Excuse me, I said fuck, so now it can't be monetized, right? Deemed and unable to carry one's own weight, an old person, and then suddenly flips to running and runs 5 miles, and all their symptoms and ailments and overweight go away. See how it could be misconstrued? Everything could be misconstrued. Hateful content that incites hatred against, promotes discrimination, disparages, or humiliates an individual or group of people based on the following: race, ethnicity, nationality, religion, disability, age, veteran status, sexual orientation, gender identity. You're not allowed to talk about people and their likes and preferences. Nothing. Don't talk about their age, disability, nationality. Nothing. Incites hatred. What? Because you don't agree with it? You see how fucked up this is? You see how to what degree censorship that we live in a completely censored environment right here? That we can speak amongst each other and we can have 100 people, but you're not allowed to rise to the mainstream. You're not allowed to. Your voice is stuffed, is held down because you are perceived as being a very bad person, incendiary and demeaning person. Right? What else? Recreational drugs. Why? I thought it's a sale of illegal drugs, regulated drugs, or substances or other dangerous products. Now, isn't marijuana legal in 10 states? Is that a regulated drug? I mean, it doesn't even fucking make sense anymore, man. It's so frustrating. All right. Limited or no ads, cocaine, methamphetamine, heroin, marijuana, cocaine, substances. You can't even talk about. You can't show a cannabis coffee shop in America where it's legal now. Talk about that shit. Tobacco, no cigarettes, no cigars, no chewing tobacco, no pipes. Firearms, no guns, no ammunition, no fire sales, no scopes, no sights. That's your Second Amendment right not being able to be talked about. Controversial issues. What is controversy? Suicide, eating disorder, domestic abuse, abortion, bullying, pedophilia, child abuse. You get the point, man? Adult themes. Sex, violence, vulgarity. You can't say anything. You basically, it's like, if we don't like you, if we are the governing body, if we don't like you, we're going to shut your fucking channel off. And you could suck ass. You can go somewhere else, man. That's basically what they're telling you. So that's where we live, right? That's where we live. That's what we're up against. So when you see me get a little frustrated over this shit, this is what we're dealing with, right? You get jerk-offs like, oh, yeah, so I wanted to, I don't want to get too into it because I challenged RT and for the other channel, for the main channel. And I challenged them, and they then wrote back a very nice letter saying, oh, we're sorry for the inconvenience. We've told YouTube that we'd like to, retract our strike. And so that channel, it's probably already in action, but they did it early this morning. So that channel will kick back in. It won't be blocked. We can stream on both channels. It won't be monetized because it's not allowed to be monetized. YouTube deemed the channel unmonetizable, which this channel will probably become unmonetizable over time. But anyway, so let's talk about this ridiculous. It just gets more ridiculous. That's what I feel like. I know why. There was this woman, right? Her name was the Sane Progressive, right? Her name was Debbie Lusignan. I don't know what her name was. But she was spectacular, and she let herself get so worked up about the censorship, and she was revealing truth upon truth about the Texas shootings, about not the Texas shooting, but the Las Vegas shooting, about all the false flags and all these things. She was revealing so much truth by doing these deep dives and analysis that she got so frustrated by the censorship where they started to clog up her YouTube channel where she couldn't even stream. Like it would wait. You'd have to wait no streaming, and then you'd have to wait 3 hours to upload a video if it even went through, and then it would crash and you'd have to do it again. They frustrated her, and she went away. Right? She abandoned YouTube, and I look at those instances and I say I understand that frustration. I understand her frustration, but I will not succumb to it. Right? Am I looking for the workaround? No, not really. I'm looking for. Yeah, I am looking for a workaround to it, but I think that the ultimate place is taking the risk and going off of YouTube completely and having a self-propelled website. Right now, when you only have a few thousand subscribers, that's a hard thing to do. Usually, you want to build it, and then take everybody with you. Right? That's what Joe Rogan did. That's what Joe Rogan sold out, but there's others. And InfoWars, he got kicked off, but he's still able to. So that's the goal of this stuff. And now, is it inside shit? Am I talking about things that are only pertinent to me? No, I'm talking about because without free speech, with these violations, clear constitutional violations of the First Amendment, because this is a public square. This is not your fucking house, YouTube. You can't say that this is your house. You are a public entity. You are inviting people into the public square. Right? That's what you're doing. This is not old-fashioned television. This is people doing it. People propelled. See how it can get you frustrated? So look at this article. If it's not frustrating enough, check this out. Masked fanatics have officially abandoned science to control your life. Now, we've always said that the masked hysteria, right? The masked kooks that feel most comfortable wearing a mask, usually because they're ugly or they got bad teeth or they got bad breath or they're socially inapt. And they like to, they feel equal with someone like a good-looking person or a smart person who is very articulate, who has a wonderful smile. Maybe they hate their smile. And finally, I have something to cover my face. Thank you, mask. And they join the radical mask wearers. Listen to this line. Yeah, or D-Live, says Farmcat. There's many, but it's hard to get people over there. It's just difficult. It's nothing new for political religions. Listen to this. This is brilliant. Whoever wrote this. Wuhan virus. She's hot. Georgia Borman. Hello, Georgia. Hello, Georgia Bullman. She's sexy. She's a sexy picture. It's probably not even her. It just gets people like me to listen to it. Ah, Georgia. Georgia Bullman, we love you. Check this out. It's nothing new for political religions to produce radicals that develop their own sects or cults. Sects with a T, not sex. Sects or cults. This time around, rigid devotion to enforcing mask compliance. Mask compliance has produced runaway fanaticism based on nothing but blind faith that there's mask wearing is always better. Even the public health experts whom these followers all promoted as great prophets just months ago can't tame their fervor. Right? That's a problem because a return to normalcy will require subduing radical factions that agitate or oppress. So the masks are now a cult. The masks are mass hysteria. Some girl tried to hand me one of these things on the street the other day. I didn't film it because I didn't have the camera on. I was eating something. Well, no, I was just sitting there. I was watching some musical thing, and she handed me a mask. And I said, oh, thanks. And I went like this, and I flicked it. I flicked it into the street. I went boom, and it fucking went flying into the street. She didn't like that very much. Her liberal balls got tied in a knot when I did that. You know, and I didn't, with no explanations. Like, don't fucking hand me no disgusting mask. I don't know where your hands have been. Why would I put something on my face that some complete stranger just handed me? How stupid is that? Maybe you're trying to get me sick. Maybe you spit on the mask. Maybe you fucking picked your nose and grabbed the mask. I don't know what's on that mask. But get that fucking mask away from me. That's a problem because a return to normalcy will require subduing radical factions and agitate for oppression. They want oppression, yeah. They want you to wear a mask. What the fuck is going on? Restrictions such as mask mandates are like oxygen to followers of radical fundamentalist, here's a new word, COVIDianism. COVIDianism. Coining a term, COVID. COVIDianism. That was a nice try, man. It's too wordy, though. I can't even get it. COVIDianism. 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 It's like 6 syllables. The abiding belief that only lockdown, social distancing, and masks can deliver us from the deadly pandemic. The longer mandates stay in place and experts continue promoting mask use, my mask protects you, your mask protects me, the stronger and more widespread the extremism will grow, and the less influence experts will have over their behavior. Ooh, that's so accurate, so predictable, right? The evidence is abundant by considering these 3 cases of radical COVIDianism, and how they trace back. Good stuff, right? Number 1, ignore the dangers of masking while exercising. So the Michigan governor signed an executive order last week requiring all non-professional sports players to wear masks in the state of Michigan. So if you're out running, you got to wear a mask. That's fucking retarded. I wouldn't do it. I'd be like, give me the ticket. Athletes, except for swimmers, must wear masks while training for practicing or competing in an organized sport if they cannot consistently maintain 6 feet of distance. There are no age-specific exemptions in this requirement. Right? Not only does this order contradict guidance from so-called experts who say that people exercising should not wear masks because sweating can clog the face fibers and make breathing difficult, as well as promoting the growth of microorganisms. Yeah, absolutely. It's a disgusting thing to have on your face all day long. In the wrong situations, right? If you're in surgery, yeah, you might want to wear one. But it overwrites Whitmer's own order, the governor, specifying that masks do not have to be worn during exercise, when wearing a face covering would interfere with the activity. Insanity, right? Here's a video of my family enduring a horrific...
That is bullshit!
Bullshit!
Here's a cop trying to tell a 3-month-old and a 19-month-old to wear a mask. Listen.
Bullshit! We've all seen it.
Listen to
We have all seen it.
This isn't going to get finished with you sat in this chair. You need to offload off the plane.
You goofy fucking cop.
Continue with that
Beat it!
Excuse me. What is his name?
This is not my...
You hear the kids screaming, no, I don't want to wear a mask, no.
Everyone has seen it. No, your partner. Everyone has seen it.
We're living in insane...
Where were you riding a bicycle at this fucking time?
You don't be ignorant.
Oof.
Don't be ignorant.
My wife was threatened to be arrested and forcibly removed unless my daughter, 3 years old, and 19 months old, while my 3-year wore the mask, and 19-month-old was hysterical. It's just so crazy, right? It's just so fucking crazy. I guess this is in Canada. Mask the babies. And number 3, wear a mask when you're alone. Not only this is ridiculous, right? This is wearing masks alone. Allegedly, people are sleeping with their masks on. Not to be undone in anti-science zeal for total conformity. However, the third example is the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources, which has asked agency employees to wear masks while teleconferencing from home. Natural Resources Secretary Preston Cole said in a July 31 email that in order to set a safe example showing that employees, quote, care about the safety and health of others, they should wear a mask while participating in virtual meetings, quote, that involve being seen. I don't even know what to say to that. If you're seen, wear a mask. Right? See how the goalpost keeps changing? It's fervor. And it wouldn't fucking matter unless it was people in situations of power getting, causing it, so that's it's just mass hysteria. Is it getting better? Are people smartening up? Are they dropping the mask? No, they're trying to make it permanent. These are permanent things that are going on. I've always said New York City is 10 years ahead of everybody. And as I walk around and drive around and ride my bike around and talk to people throughout the city, I can tell you that New York is what the country is going to become in 10 years. It's mandatory, self-inflicted censorship, self-inflicted mask wearing. Like, this is where we're going. Right? If you don't believe it, I don't know. Do something about it. Don't just sit on your ass because it's coming, right? It's here. It's here. You're required to wear a fucking mask. It's getting worse and worse. Let's talk about Julian Assange. Let's give him 2 minutes of mainstream media.
WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange appeared this week at a London court fighting extradition to the U.S. The 49-year-old faces charges over the release of secret government documents. We're also learning new details about his secret life. CBS News senior foreign correspondent Elizabeth Palmer has the story.
It's the same one.
It's the same one, is it?
Gabriel and Max are the sons fathered in secret of one of the most controversial figures of our time. The revered and reviled Julian Assange, founder of WikiLeaks, who's been in hiding, or as he is now in jail, since before they were born. Stella Morris is the boy's mother.
I try to give them as normal a feeling
Are we
of a
buffering?
family as I can.
Currently, Assange is battling extradition to the U.S., where he's charged with conspiracy to hack a Pentagon computer.
Give me a 1 if we're up again. I see the buffering thing going. The little buffer. If we're up, I'll continue.
And using WikiLeaks to publish thousands of classified documents.
My work will not be cowed.
It's something Assange argues was in the public interest. Morris met Assange a decade ago when she joined his legal team, and then they became lovers while he was a fugitive holed up in Ecuador's embassy in London.
We found ways to be private. We had a tent in his room that we put, fairy lights in, and
a tent?
A tent, yeah. We had a, like a camping tent.
Was that so even if there were cameras, they wouldn't be able to see?
Right, yes.
Then last year, Assange was dragged out of the embassy and arrested.
Why should Julian not be extradited to the U.S.?
There's no way Julian will face a fair trial in the U.S.
Going public now, when Assange could be looking at decades of U.S. prison time, is a calculated emotional appeal to the British court.
A calculated emotional appeal to the British court, says the fake news. I think it's interesting to watch that Julian Assange has these two children and this secret woman that he had over, and she used to work there. That was the deal. She was an employee of some sort at the embassy, or she was living in exile as well. And they found each other, and they fornicated in a tent and had two children.
Well, I think the court has to deal with the reality that he has a family in the UK.
What do you tell the kids about Daddy?
I tell them that Julian is a hero, and they speak to him every day.
Whatever the courts decide, Stella Morris stands by her man.
Wow. So humanizing Julian Assange. That's what we're doing here. Julian Assange has two children that are going to have to, grow up knowing their father was a hero and was persecuted by the bad, evil Americans and the British Empire, who have not forgotten that they still have to, that they're still an empire, or still want to be an empire. So just Julian Assange update. And I wanted to put this out. IRS claim your $1,200 stimulus check. Apparently, there's 9 million people that have not claimed their stimulus check. So if you didn't get one and you don't think you deserve one, go click on this. Click on one of these sites over here. I'll give you the link. It's at Forbes. I'll throw it into the chat. And click on this shit, man. And right, and click that link and go file your claim your $1,200. The IRS urges you to sign up by October 15 to claim your stimulus check. Not a new check, but the old check that everybody else got. Last week, September 17, the IRS issued a news release about 10 days ago, urging nearly 9 million people to sign up to receive the $1,200 stimulus check. This letter, which was recently mailed out, represents the latest attempt by the IRS to reach people who are eligible to receive the $1,200 stimulus check, but either don't realize that they can claim this stimulus check or don't understand how to go about requesting it. Yeah. So you've got probably, homeless people wandering around the streets with no access to a telephone, a smartphone or a computer because all the libraries are shut down. And there's $1,200 sitting there waiting for them. All they got to do is claim it. So I don't know. I mean, I'll assume that nobody watching this broadcast is homeless, because you wouldn't have you got to have at least a computer and a phone, right? Right. But if you know people that might fall into this category, or you're of an age where you haven't worked, still apply. Just go there and apply. If you didn't get a stimulus check, go there and apply, and you'll probably get one. If you don't typically file a federal income tax return, this message is for you. It doesn't matter if you're unemployed. It doesn't matter if you didn't earn any income at all. It doesn't matter if you are homeless. And it doesn't matter if you haven't filed taxes for years. What matters is that you may very well be eligible to receive $1,200 stimulus check. And it is important that you use the IRS non-filers tool. Let's go there. This is the non-filers tool. Enter payment info here. So who is eligible? Right, so just go there, right? Enter your information. Easy. Easy as pie, right? So don't miss out, man. Don't and put pride aside. Oh, I don't want a handout. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. Take every penny. Take every goddamn penny that the government throws at you. Every penny. Don't forget to do that. Right? So, because it's now your birthright as an American. That's where we're at. That's where we live, right? Everything is censored and the money is handed out. So you got to take it, right? Or you get fucked. You get starved to death. So top NASA officials unveiled $28 billion plan to land first woman on the moon. Wow, you know how many people you could feed with $28 billion? Right. We're going to the moon. We are going back to the moon. Yeah, baby. We're going to the moon. You heard? Woman, a vagina. Ah, a woman. How about a black woman? How about a fat black woman? How about a transgender woman, man? Why does it got to be a woman? What's the big deal about that? Okay, great. Is a woman, a woman is lighter. I would imagine it would be easier to pump her into fucking space, right? She's about 25 pounds lighter, but whatever, right? Nonetheless, we're going back to the moon, and the reason to go back to the moon is because the moon is allegedly going to be the takeoff for Mars because of the no gravity. So if we shoot a rocket off of the Earth, and try to get through our atmosphere, we waste a lot of energy. But if we blast off of the moon, right, it's very easy to propel something towards Mars because it doesn't have to be propelled. All you have to do is build up speed. So if you get a rocket and you build this shit up and it's going 6,000 miles an hour, then you just cut the engine and it will cruise to Mars in 9 months or a year. However long it takes to get there, and all you got to do is sustain yourself while you're floating through space on a perfect, 6,000 miles an hour pointing directly at Mars. Nothing, as long as nothing hits it or diverts it, it'll continue. So that's why they want to use the moon to blast off. So you go to the moon, you set up a launching pad, you send up a couple of other rockets with the energy that they're going to need in the ship, and then you blast off from the moon. So that's what they're trying to do. The U.S. National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, has unveiled a $28 billion program to send the first woman to the moon in 2020 as part of its Artemis program. Artemis, right? This will be the first time since 1972 to put a human back on the lunar surface. Somebody said it's bipartisan support. With bipartisan support from Congress, our 21st century push to the moon is well within reach. As well, solidified more of our exploration plans in recent months, we've continued to refine our budget and architecture. We're going back to the moon for scientific discovery, economic benefits, and inspiration for a new generation of explorers. But they also say that it's part of the red push. Yeah, here we go. A sustainable presence on the moon will eventually pave the way for astronauts to take their first steps on the red planet, referring to NASA's future mission to Mars. That's why they're doing it. To get to Mars, you have to literally own the moon. Right? And China's on the dark side. They got some shit going on over there, right? So there's also that going on. What the fuck is China doing on the dark side of the moon? Right. I don't know if there's a camera over there. I don't know if the dark side is dark all the time. Can we see the dark side during the day and day side during the night? I don't know. But nonetheless, we're going back to the moon, and it's a woman. What's up, everybody in the chat? What is up? What is up? What isn't up? What is upside down? So we still have 50 people watching. Love it, love it, love it. If you're new here, or if you're just finding us here, it's very likely by today or tomorrow we'll be back at the other channel or both. We'll do a hodgepodge of both. Let's see how this channel goes. We're now monetized. If YouTube starts throttling these stories, then we're in business. Right? Suddenly we see a couple of thousand new subscribers from out of nowhere. And for almost 2 years, the other channel starved, or a year. We'll stay here. So So Joe Rogan, is podcasting worth it? Is it something that can be equitable? You bet your ass. Joe Rogan snags $14.4 million Lake Austin mansion. Wow, $14 million in Austin, Texas. I'm sure you get a lot of bang for your buck there. After losing his Tennessee bid for U.S. Congress, Texas icon Davy Crockett famously declared, "You will all go to hell, and I will go to Texas." That's right. That was ancient history way back in 1835. But today it appears that Joe Rogan, arguably the celebrity closest to embodying a modern-day Crockett ethos, is following the king of the wild frontier's footsteps. The superstar podcaster recently shelled out $14.4 million in an off-market deal for a sublime lakefront piece of real estate in Austin, one of the biggest transactions in history. Now, he signed a $100 million deal with Spotify. Does this get me angry? It angers me slightly because Joe Rogan was talking about the Kyle Rittenhouse shooting, or he was talking about the fires that quite possibly some of those wildfires in California were possibly arson. And in light of the fact that actual reports were coming out that they were in fact arson. And Joe Rogan just talked about it. And then when he was challenged, he walked it all back. He walked it back and said, no, I didn't mean that. I misspoke. So you could see how the money, right? Should he give a fuck? Should Joe Rogan give a flying rat's ass about what anybody thinks about his truth-telling or his perspective? He now sits in a $14 million home in Texas, probably paid off, in full, in cash, because Spotify gave him $100 million. Does this guy give a shit? Should he care? Joe Rogan could sit there and talk about dick, and he could talk about anything he wants now for the next 10 years until the Spotify money hits his account. And why should he care? Right? Is there any integrity, is what I'm saying. Is Joe Rogan's integrity being challenged now that he lives in a $14 million home? But he did live in a big home in California. Listen to this, the one in Texas, 10,800 square feet, 8 bedrooms, 10 bathrooms. The property is located on a lake. 4 acres of spectacular blah, 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 with motor courtyards and big garages. He lived in a $5 million mansion in California, and he owns a $2 million townhouse walking distance from that. So he owns a $5 million, $2 million, that's 7, 14, 21. If my math is correct, Joe Rogan now owns $21 million worth of property. And you think he cares about free speech? We shall see. Do you think that it's more important to him to speak the truth and exercise his free speech than it is to have $21 million worth of property and a $100 million contract with Spotify? Right? What's more important? I don't know. I don't have $21 million. So let's get to the. I know we're here for a long time, and now we're going to talk about Trump. Here's just briefly. Trump is again being accused of. He keeps saying I'm under audit. When is a president of the United States? He runs the fucking Treasury, and he's being audited by his employees. It doesn't make sense. But Trump keeps running the idea that he's under audit. And allegedly, the New York Times has reported that Trump paid $750 in 2017 tax. Now, Trump claims that it's fake news. So let's hear Trump in his own words.
Chris will definitely have some questions. And one of the ones that's going to likely, everybody's going to be talking about is there's a New York Times story that came out about an hour ago that says that when you came to the White House, you were paying about $750 a year in federal income tax. They are not releasing, they're not publishing the tax returns. They're not showing that out there. They're saying to protect their sources. In your tax return, sir, does that sound right that you're paying a couple $100s a year of federal income taxes?
It's fake news. It's totally fake news.
Total fake news. But I like that Trump is now, he's exercising, he's letting them hang himself. He's letting the press hang themselves. He's letting them get the whole question out instead of cutting them off, which is new for Trump. So Trump says the allegation is that New York Times is alleging that Trump only paid $750 in taxes in 2017, and Trump boldly says fake news.
Made up, fake. We went through the same stories. You could have asked me the same questions 4 years ago. I had to litigate this and talk about it. Totally fake news. No, actually, I paid tax. And you'll see that as soon as my tax returns. It's under audit. They've been under audit for a long time. The IRS does not treat me well. They treat me like the Tea Party, like they treated the Tea Party. They don't treat me well. They treat me very badly. You have people in the IRS, they treat me very, very badly. But they're under audit.
I guess the point is, do we believe Trump? Do we believe Trump when he says, hold on a second. Do we believe Trump when he says that he's under audit? Do we actually believe Trump saying that that he's under audit? I don't. I don't believe that. I think that Trump has fudged his taxes over the years, and he thinks that it would be offensive that if people found out that he didn't pay any tax, that all his income was deferred to some other kind of business somewhere else, which is what billionaires do. They move their money around so that they never pay tax. They make money in the market. They move it into some other thing that is a haven of some sort for tax. All monies are invested. That's what Trump does, right? It's clearly what he did. But apparently New York Times has this story.
And when they're not, I would be proud to show it, but that's just fake news. The New York Times tried it, the same thing. They want to create a little bit of a story, they're doing anything they can. Not only that's the least of it. I mean, the stories that I read are so fake. They're so phony.
Did they tell you this was going to come out today?
No, I didn't know anything about it.
Mr. President.
I think somebody said they were going to do a negative. They always do. They only do negative stories. I don't think I used to get good stories in the New York Times when I ran for office, and I happened to be conservative Republican. I don't think we've had a good story. They predicted my loss 4 years ago.
Yeah, I would agree. Bill West in the chat. Good morning, Bill. It says make them work for the info. I agree with that. Trump is turning it into a comedy routine. Trump loves this shit. Oh, yeah, you want to talk about my taxes? Oh, no, it's I'm under audit. And he laughs at him.
Apologize for their bad reporting. Then they predicted the FBI and all of these things. That's now proven to be a hoax, a complete hoax. They got Pulitzer Prizes along with the Washington Post. They should give all those Pulitzer Prizes back because everything was wrong. I mean, it was so bad. Their reporting was so bad, they were wrong. It was exactly the opposite. Now, there are people that should get Pulitzer Prizes. Solomon, Carter. I mean, they're not in the business of Pulitzer Prizes, but Sean Hannity got it right.
Trump is actually the greatest master of the spin ever. He's the spin master. He really is. I mean,
Lou Dobbs got it right. Laura got it right. Many people Tucker got it right. There were many people that got it right. I don't know what they get other than a great salary and great ratings. I mean, I don't know what they get.
Thank you, sir. On
Jordan, go ahead.
Yes, thank you. On the New York Times story, though, you have to understand that when Americans read that you may have paid only a few $100s in federal income tax per year, that seems very low for someone who's a billionaire. So how much? I mean,
well, basically, they're saying I paid nothing.
Can you give people an idea of how much you actually are paying?
Yeah, basically, well, first of all, I paid a lot, and I paid a lot of state income taxes, too. The New York State...
How much did you pay, they ask him. And he says, oh, I paid a lot. I paid a lot. He just refuses to tell them how much he paid.
Charges a lot, and I paid a lot of money in state. It'll all be revealed. It's going to come out. But after the auditors, they're doing their assessment. We've been negotiating for a long time.
It's so unbelievable that Trump is it's just not believable that he's under audit from the IRS. He's the president of the United States. He's not the guy down the block anymore. It's so ridiculous.
Things get settled, like in the IRS, but right now, when you're under audit, you don't do it. You don't do that. So we're under audit, but the story is a total fake. And all of this, or is this one, you know, we had the same exact questions, usually asked by the same people, and that took place 4 years ago. You remember, this was so well litigated. It's incredible. If you look at the filings I think I have 108 pages of filings.
All right, so that's enough about that, really. It's just, the controversy is that the New York Times is saying Trump paid $750 in taxes in 2017, but they can't prove it because, I don't know. I didn't read the article. I think it's stupid. I wouldn't even bother, right? So that's the controversy. Did Trump, do we care? I mean, does it matter? Is it going to change anything, any election? For some reason, the Democrats think that's a sticking point. Get Trump, his taxes. Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about it anymore. So what else we got? Oh, so this is fucked up. This is fucked up. This will make your blood boil, right? So chaotic scene unfolds as car plows through Trump supporters in California. Multiple injuries reported. So some psychopath decided to run motherfuckers over, run decent people over for protesting in the street. What happened to peaceful protest? Let's watch. Oh, that's loud. So, whoa. So there's a car. Boom, plowing through people. Oh, fuck. What the fuck? Chase the psychopath down. The police got him.
I ran somebody over!
Crazy situation, right? She just ran 2 people over.
I'm pressed. I need to film it.
They're gonna get him.
It has to be on camera.
They're gonna get him.
Camera. I'm going on the sidewalk.
There's a couple of better shots of the actual running over. We'll watch that. It's the next video. Watch one more time. Oh, here's the incident. Right? So there's people surrounding the car. Here we go. Oh shit! And they just decide to run. It's definitely a little scary when you're surrounded. I would support in just that. When you are surrounded by people that don't like you and have identified you as the bad guy, that fight or flight, that like, let's go. Let's watch the end of it one time. I guess it's right here, right? So you're in a car and you're totally surrounded. Let's take the other side for 1 second. You're totally surrounded. You get in your car. You got all kinds of people not agreeing with you. Certainly not violent. But trying to blow through people like that is fucking crazy, man. So dangerous. So dangerous. What's this? So they got arrested, get out of the car, put your hands behind your back, just ran 2 people over. Crazy scene, right? Yeah. So what's the rule? The rule of thumb now is don't stand in front of a moving vehicle.
You see that shit?
in any of this.
I got all night. That's why I'm here to cover.
You know, it turns into a 2,000-pound weapon.
These guys green hats and green jackets, so that's what you guys say.
Warm is a little too much. So they got him. Arrested, surrounding the police. Let's watch this one. Someone ran their car. I think there's another one, another angle. So there's the car. Here's the front angle. I think it's the same one. That guy taking a picture. Same one, really. So what the fuck? So nobody dead. A few people injured. Oh, this guy's got injured. Let's see. A car just drove through a crowd. The crowd then chased after the white sedan. This person was hurt. He got knocked on his ass. It's fucked up. Right? He got run over. Right? So, maybe he banged his head or something. But it's just crazy times we're living in, man. You know, it's violent. So here's the big gaffe. Here is the big gaffe. Delaware State University denies Biden was a student after he claims he got started there. So this is ridiculous, right? Joe Biden, senile. We're going to blame him. Is this ageism? He's old. He's senile, and he's a liar. He's a careerist, a career liar. So here he goes.
HBCUs. I got started out of an HBCU, Delaware State. Now, I don't want to hear anything negative about Delaware State here, okay? They're my folks. But all kidding aside.
HBCUs are historical black colleges and universities. Listen one more time. Joe Biden is saying he got his start out of a historically black college and university. That's what he just said.
HBCUs. I got started out of an HBCU, Delaware State. Now, I don't want to hear anything negative about Delaware State here, okay? Yes. They're my folks. But all kidding aside.
I don't want to hear anything about Delaware State is not a Delaware State has denied that Joe Biden has ever been a student there. I'm sorry, I'm killing this. Let's listen one more time and then I'll read the article and we'll get the background on it.
HBCUs. I got started out of an HBCU, Delaware State. Now, I don't want to hear anything negative about Delaware State here, okay? They're my folks. But all kidding aside, the fact is that HBCUs are in trouble financially. Let's remember why we had HBCUs. Because black folk couldn't go to white colleges. That's why we have HBCUs. And they provide an incredible service.
That was I believe that was 2016, or that's before he picked Kamala Harris, right? Because then there would be Harris on the thing. But let's read. Delaware State University has denied that Joe Biden has ever been a student there after the presidential campaign candidate claimed that he got started at the historically black college. The 77-year-old Democrat made his claim while praising historically black colleges and universities, HBCUs, during a town hall event last October. So it's not even a year ago, before the South Carolina Democratic primary, the one that he stole, the rigged primary against Bernie Sanders. He said, "I got started out of an HBCU, Delaware State." He told pupils at Wilson High School in Florence, which was founded in 1866 by the Freedmen's Bureau for black children seeking an education. Quote, "Now, I don't want to hear anything negative." We already heard that. We heard it. Let's look at some pictures. Senile Joe, Delaware University. All right. So what is the deal here? However, the politician's claim came back to haunt him when the university said he had only been a commencement speaker there decades after his start in politics. So he never went to this university. Vice President Biden did not attend DSU, the college director of news service told the Washington Times. Instead, he was only a commencement keynote speaker in 2003, 2003, and 2016, a far cry from the start of his political career, where he has been a senator since 1973. So he was a senator in 1973. He couldn't possibly have gotten his start there. He never went to the school, and he was only a commencement speaker 30 years after the fact. 30 and 45 years after the fact. He's lying. He's a liar. He lied to a bunch of high school kids. He was awarded an honorary doctorate degree, but was never a student. They all claim the doctorate degrees are given to everybody. That doesn't mean you went to the school, and certainly doesn't mean you got your start there. You got a gift after you were the vice president of the United States. DSU founded in 1891 as the state college for colored students. So it was, in fact, a historically black college. That is true. That is true. He didn't make that part of it up. So he said that he got his start at a historically black college. And DSU, founded in 1891 as the State College for Colored Students, is about 40 miles south of the University of Delaware, where Biden graduated in 1965 with a double major in political science and history. He went on to study at Syracuse University College of Law. I went to Syracuse, where he failed a class after being accused of plagiarism. Yeah, he did. So anyway, that's that story. You want to hear it again? There's Joe Biden lying.
HBCUs. HBCUs. I got started out of an HBCU, Delaware State. Now, I don't want to hear anything negative about Delaware State here, okay? They're my folks. But
so he got started at Delaware State University. State College for Colored, as the State College, Delaware State University. All right, so it was a different name. So anyway, make what you will with it. Joe Biden lying again. Or he just doesn't know. He's like Hillary Clinton. They lie. They get up in front of people, and when they're asked to improvise, they just lie. They make up shit. Right? Hillary Clinton did it throughout the campaign. Trump renews call for Biden to be drug tested for presidential debate. That would be awesome, man. That would be so fucking awesome, right? Trump renews call for Biden to get drug tested. Right? That would be great, right? President Trump on Sunday once again called on former Vice President Joe Biden to take a drug test as the two presidential candidates prepare for their first one-on-one face-off in Cleveland. Totally unprecedented. If Trump is already saying things like take a drug test, he's senile, he's a liar. Like, could you imagine face-to-face Tuesday night tomorrow at 9 p.m., 9:30 p.m. New York time is going to be epic. Oh my God, what a time. I don't know if I'm going to do it live because I really want to sit and watch. I don't want to talk. I like to shut the door and no cats and nobody. And just watch the thing and then talk about it, because what are you talking about if you haven't even watched it? You got to watch it. You got to get into the emotion, the mood of the thing, right? As a spectator, right? It's a spectator sport. You got to watch it for the hour and a half in its entirety before you flap your lips about what you're seeing, right? Because you don't know what's coming next, and you don't want to miss anything. I will be strongly demanding a drug test of Sleepy Joe Biden prior to or after the debate on Tuesday night. Naturally, I will agree to take one as well, said Trump in a tweet. That is just so ridiculous, so insane, man. But probably merited, because are they jacking up Joe Biden with performance-enhancing drugs to get him over the finish line, to get him able to speak, stand on his feet for an hour and a half, and defend himself against the Trump? Maybe. The president has been pressing the Democratic presidential nominee for months about taking a drug test, questioning his uneven debate performances during the Democratic primary with Bernie Sanders. Well, quote, "Well, I don't know which Biden is going to show up because I watched him during the debates where they had 20 people on the stage." They didn't have 20. How was the most they had? Did they have 20? 20 people on the stage. No, they had 10, right? 10 or 12. I think 12 was the max. And he was a disaster. You don't get worse. He was grossly incompetent. Then I watched him against Bernie Sanders, and he was okay. Trump said earlier this month in an interview on Fox and Friends, the president said he wondered if Biden's performances were enhanced in some way. Quote, what's the difference between now and some of those classic moments in the other debates? And something was strange, in my opinion. I won't say what, but a lot of people think that something happened and you can't do that kind of stuff. You just can't do that kind of stuff, he continued. Are there any rules about performance-enhancing medications before a political speech? I don't think so. And I would imagine that they would certainly be legal performance-enhancing medications, but it would make such a difference in people's opinions. If Joe Biden pissed in a cup and it came back positive for performance-enhancing medications before, during, or after that shit happened. So in an interview last month, Biden said, bring it on. Okay, great. So they both agree. So both of you go into the tent, pull out your thing, and fill up the cup, and let's let the people decide. Watch me, Mr. President. Watch me, Biden told ABC News. What we say, what we do, what we control, what we know, what kind of shape we're in. Come on. Come on, man. Come on, man. Senile old idiot, Biden. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. And the wildfires. And the wildfires. Wildfires are up in California's Napa County at dangerous rates of speed. Right? Is it kids, these radicals with lighters and accelerants, throwing caution to the wind, playing the wind. Oh, look, the wind is blowing. It's picking up. Everything's very dry. Let's light a fire right here. Right? Is that a conspiracy theory? No, we have evidence to support it. There have been fires lit. Have been mysterious fires lit. Hold on a second. I'm sorry if I blew your ears out. There have been mysterious fires all over California. Mandatory evacuations were issued Sunday morning in areas of North Carolina after a fast-moving wildfire. They always come in pairs or threes. Mandatory evacuations in California issued after a fast-moving wildfire erupted as the region faces extreme fire weather conditions. Cal Fire said the glass fire broke out early Sunday morning east of Calisangara in Napa Valley County in California and was burning north of St. Helena near the community of Deer Park. Now, I don't know where those places are, but officials said that the blaze had consumed at least 800 acres as of 11 a.m. Dangerous rate of speed. The fire remains completely uncontained. All right. How many fires, right? The Napa County Sheriff's Department, Sheriff's Office. I'm sorry, I'm just getting a little tongue-tied. Mandatory evacuations were ordered in Silverado Trail, Lark Media. I don't know where these places are. But more fires. Let's see how many fires. Fires just popping up everywhere. So far, it's impacted 89,000 consumers in terms of their power. More than 8,000 California wildfires so far this year. 8,000 fires have scorched 5,600 square miles, destroying more than 7,000 buildings and killing 26 people. I guess, I'm not from California. I don't know California from a hole in the wall. All I know is I've been to, hold on one second. And there you have it. I don't know California from a hole in the wall. And, but I know that there's people in California that do know California from a hole in the wall. Is it possible, the question becomes, is it possible that from out of nowhere, 8,000 California wildfires have sprung up this year? Is that abnormal? I don't know. And consuming 5,600 square miles, destroying 7,000 buildings, killing 26 people. Is there any precedence for something like this to happen? The other question you got to ask is, are the winds stronger now than they were? Is the grass drier this year than it was last year? Are the trees more brittle than they were this year as last year? If you answer no to any of those questions, or about the same, then you have to look for the fucking evidence of people flipping cocktail bombs and lighting fireworks and going up into the mountains camping and leaving the fucking thing in a blaze. And who's lighting fires? What radical organization in California, Oregon, in Portland, in Washington State, in New York City, in all over the country, who has been responsible for lighting fires? Oh, Antifa. And Black Lives Matter. So evidence, continued fires, as we speak, in the great state of California, with no real rounding up of the motherfuckers that may be lighting these things, no accountability. And they're outstanding people, right? Black Lives Matter, outstanding people. Look at us. Black Lives Matter founder, arrested after spending $200,000 in donations on a house, entertainment, and suits. So this guy, fuck is this guy? Who the hell is this guy? He's not a black. He's a white black. That's an albino black. He's an albino. He's got black feature, and he's white. So what does it make him white, or is he black? Is he black on the inside and white on the outside? Is he fully black because black is just a color? Is he really just white because your appearance is what makes you white and offers you white privilege? So I ask you, is the man before you black, white, or other? Give me your answer in the chat. Is this a black man? Or if you're black on the outside, what determines your color? Is it black on the inside, black on the outside, or white on the inside, white on the outside? But the question is this guy before us black or white? You can judge. Because I don't know. Right? But the founder, this guy, 32-year-old Sir Major Page, has been arrested by the FBI on fraud and money laundering charges after he used $200,000 in Black Lives Matter donations on food, dining, entertainment, clothing, furniture, a home security system, tailored suits and accessories. And you know what, man? That's what rich people do, right? When someone hands you money, you fucking spend it. That's what they do. So is it that unusual for a nonprofit to spend the money on enriching themselves? No, that's what they do. Look no further than the Clinton Foundation, right? And you'll find out. He was arrested in Toledo, and Toledo FBI office opened an investigation last year on a tip they received from a cooperative witness. Page founded Black Lives Matter of Greater Atlanta in 2016. And had taken in more than $466,000 in total donations in June, July, and August. And it seems pretty clear that these guys don't reciprocate the money. They take corporate money, right, and fund these radical events, and they enrich themselves. So you're wondering how do they travel all over the place, and so there you go, right? Black Lives Matter, motherfucker is enriching himself. So anyway, Mark's Conte reporting. Thank you very much. I'm just a little under the weather right now. It's hard to get the words out. I'm very tired because I don't sleep. Chris Milk says he's human inside. Right, and that's all you could ask, right? That's all you could really ask, is that you be human. All you can ask. Thank you everybody for joining me in the chat. Thank you, Vinny DiMartini, for your fine moderation. Dead Green in the house, Chris Milk, Johnny Half, Bebop, Jason Walsh is here, Johnny Half, Raymond Duncan, Terry Miller, SS67 UK, Bill West, Me So Hungry, Wesley Snipes, Vanderloo. Yeah, Vanderloo. Raymond Duncan, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me. We're here for a while. It looks like we got our channel back. We got our copyright strike lifted. It's not lifted quite yet, but it's in the works. A day or so, we'll be back. Thank you for joining me. Stay optimistic about the future. And we'll probably be live tomorrow morning. And with the lead up to the big day, the big enchilada is the debate, the presidential debate between two candidates, the dead Joe Biden and the very, very alive and articulate Donald J. Trump. Who will win? Who will win this contest, I ask you? Marcus Conte reporting.